Looking at the 2026 Global Military Index, China sits at number 3 worldwide, while India follows closely at number 4. On paper, it appears to be a severe mismatch favoring Beijing. This data visualization breaks down the massive resource gap. China outspends India nearly 4-to-1, dedicating $314 billion to defense compared to New Delhi's $86 billion. India, however, maintains a slight edge in personnel, fielding over 3 million troops to China's 2.5 million. When the chart shifts to physical hardware, the gap widens. China commands an air force of nearly 2,000 combat aircraft, against India's 588. At sea, the People's Liberation Army Navy deploys a fleet of over 1,000 ships, dwarfing India's 296 vessels. That massive budget translates directly into rapid power projection. China is actively fielding new aircraft carrier strike groups, like the Liaoning seen here, with plans to build 6 additional carriers by 2035 to secure its blue water reach. If conflicts were fought in a spreadsheet, Beijing would hold a decisive advantage. But raw military metrics ignore the actual physical and geographic environment where these two nations border each other. Beijing has to secure a 22,000-kilometer land perimeter spanning 14 different countries. India, by contrast, concentrates its primary ground defense directly upward into the northern mountains. This 3D map charts the 3,380-kilometer border sitting between 4,000 and 5,000 meters. Zooming into these steep mountain passes, it's clear why China's 6,800 main battle tanks are useless here. The rugged terrain degrades mechanized units, leaving 50,000 troops in a freezing stalemate. Furthermore, the People's Liberation Army hasn't fought a major war since 1979. Indian forces, meanwhile, are continuously acclimatized and battle-tested in these specific high-altitude friction zones. The Himalayas act as a massive geographic shield, forcing a high-attrition infantry standoff that neutralizes Beijing's financial superiority, making a conventional ground invasion highly improbable. Beyond its borders, India amplifies its defense through international partnerships. Through the Quad Alliance, India actively shares real-time intelligence with the United States, Japan, and Australia to secure the broader Indo-Pacific. While New Delhi relies on a unified network of democratic allies, Beijing depends on a string of vulnerable overseas bases and economically fragile partners like Pakistan for regional influence. To secure itself against total escalation, India adheres to a strict no-first-use doctrine, backed by an expanding fleet of nuclear ballistic missile submarines. These vessels guarantee a devastating second strike capability from anywhere in the ocean. That deterrent recently grew significantly more lethal. In 2024, India successfully tested the Agni-5 missile equipped with MIRV technology, allowing a single launch vehicle to deliver multiple independent nuclear warheads simultaneously. This radar map illustrates the strategic impact of the Agni-5. With an estimated range pushing up to 8,000 kilometers, the strike zone blankets all of mainland China, eliminating any geographic safe zones for Beijing. Even though China possesses nearly 600 nuclear warheads to India's 180, India's submarine-based second strike and MIRV technology create an impenetrable deterrent. In a total war scenario, China's numerical warhead advantage becomes tactically irrelevant. Recognizing these operational realities, India's 2025 maritime doctrine formalizes a persistent state of no war, no peace. The strategy focuses on continuous high-level readiness rather than an endless arms race. India utilizes shared emerging technologies, like quantum sensing networks, to track subterranean tunneling and monitor Chinese deployments, stripping away Beijing's ability to mount a tactical surprise along the border. Looking out to sea, the Indian Navy is positioned to control the crucial choke points of the Indian Ocean. As China imports 2/3 of its oil through these waters, India holds the ability to threaten the shipping lanes Beijing relies on for economic survival. In a conventional conflict, India does not need to match China dollar for dollar. By leveraging the extreme geography of the Himalayas, utilizing the intelligence network of the Quad Alliance, and controlling critical maritime bottlenecks, India effectively neutralizes Beijing's massive military investment.